In this video, we're going to talk about a different way to manage the storage of values. We're going to be using a dictionary. A dictionary is really convenient when you've got things that go together. That way you can keep those items together. For example, in my inventory dictionary, I have shoes, and then I have 4 different kinds of shoes. I have pants and 3 different kinds of pants. And I have shirts and I have 3 different kinds of shirts. But these are all in my inventory of clothing. We're going to be using different words or different vocabulary. These items here, the shoes, the pants, and the shirts, those are called keys. It's a key in my dictionary, K-E-Y. So my clothing items are the key. And then notice the colon here, because now associated with my key of shoes, I have all of these values. So my key of shoes has 4 different values: running, hiking, sandals, and tennis. My pants have 3 different values: blue, red, and yellow. And my shirts have 3 different values: orange, pink, and purple. So that's one way to define a dictionary. Another way to define a dictionary, let's just create a dictionary. We can just call this one, let's call this amounts. Call it quantity. That's a much smarter word. So we're going to create a dictionary. I'm going to call it quantity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of how many shoes I have. I'm going to keep track of how many pair of pants I have. And I will keep track of how many shirts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick items at random from my inventory, and I'm just going to tally how many of each thing I picked. So I've created a dictionary that will track the number. So now my number is, the value is just 0. The value is 0, whereas here the value was a list of different items. So there are different ways you can use a dictionary. Okay, what we're going to do then is pick a random key like shoes, pants, or shirts at random, and we're going to keep track in this quantity dictionary of how many times those keys were picked at random. So let's just, we're going to do a for loop. Let's just go 5 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a random key from the inventory list. So this is just like you would do on a regular list. So this is random element. We're going to unwrap it, and what we're saying is the random element we want to pick from this dictionary is the key only. So we only want to pick randomly either shoes, pants, or shirts. So that's the random element we want to get, is the key. Okay, so when that random element is picked, let's say it's shoes, I want to add 1 to this inventory. Okay, so to do that, we're going to say in quantity, we're going to find that random key. So if it was shoes, we'll find shoes. If it's pants, we'll find pants. And we're going to add 1 to this value. We're going to add 1 to that. So it must be unwrapped. So that means we need to unwrap, because random element is an optional. I'm going to unwrap it like so. And like that. There we go. We need to unwrap the variable itself and then unwrap this quantity. Okay, well, let's print quantity. So we're picking a random key. Every time we pick shoes, we add 1 to the shoes total, or to that shoes value. Every time we pick pants, we add 1 to the pants value, and so on. So let's run it. Okay, and the 5 times that was drawn, shoes was picked once, pants once, shirts got picked 3 times. And if we run it again, it will be a different output. No shoes were chosen this time, only pants and shirts. Okay, let's go on to the last thing we're going to do. We're going to pick a random value from a key and remove it from the list of values. So, for example, we're going to go into shoes. We're going to pick one of these 4 things at random and then remove it from that list, because that could come in handy. Okay, so we're going to say for each thing, item and the style in the inventory. Now, a lot of times people will put for each key and each value. So it's saying go in, pick each key like shoes, and then go look at each value one at a time. So pick shoes, that's the first key, and then go look at all of the values: running, hiking, sandals, and tennis. And then key will go look at the next one, which is pants, and then the values will be blue, red, and yellow. And then the final key will be shirts, and the values are orange, pink, and purple. I like to use words that pertain, so variables that pertain to what I'm doing. So I'm going to say for each item in my list, and then each style that goes along with it in inventory. I'm going to let the brand, actually let's just call this the type, equal style.randomElement. Remember that style is an array of values. So we have an array of values for each one: running, hiking, sandals, and tennis. So I want to pick something randomly from my values for each shape or each style. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a new list that takes out the randomly selected one. So I'm going to put a comment here. Removes the randomly selected value from the list of values. Okay, to do that, I'm going to say let filtered equal. So style, remember, was my list of styles: running, hiking, sandals. I'm going to filter that out. What I want to do is I want to remove the brand that was chosen, or the type that was chosen. So I want to say when I make this new list, I want to take out the type. So this creates a new list. There we go. Creates a new list that takes out the one that was randomly chosen. Now finally, I'm going to reassign that list to the item that was chosen. So I'm going to say in inventory, if I can spell it right, in inventory, at that key called item, I want to change the values to this new list called filtered. So this essentially, let's print it, it'll be easier to see. So let's just run it and see what it looks like. The first one is how many, of course. And then what it did is it went into each one of the keys, like shirts, and it looks like it chose orange because orange used to be in the values for shirts, but now it took it out and it made it pink and purple. And then here, running, sandals, and tennis, it took out hiking from the list of values in shoes. And then for the pants, it took out red and rewrote the list to not include that red. So we filtered it out to take out the one that was randomly chosen. What this then did is it said, all right, now go back into the inventory and replace these values with the new list with things not included. So let's print it. It's easier to see when we... So let's print our inventory now that we've taken out that randomly chosen item. So now you can see that this next time through, pants only has blue and red because the yellow was taken out. Shoes now it has running, hiking, and tennis, and shirts is only pink and purple. So that's a way to pick an item randomly, remove it from the list of values, and then put that back in our dictionary again. Okay. Now go play around with this.